There you go. Whatever. We're live. We should be live on YouTube, I presume, as well. We're live on YouTube.
I'll
just double check. We should be live on YouTube. I did put it on public, I think. I did anyway.
You did, but
I thought I did.
You probably did, in all fairness.
Double check. Yeah, there it is. There it is. Live at 5. Here we are.
There you go.
We've got the PIV. The first ever 3-man live show. How you feeling about that, end?
Great, yeah. Happy to be here.
Nice one.
Like to thank God, my family, and other people I like.
I'm going to say, I mean, really.
Well, sorry, I'll sell it. Thanks, guys.
There you go.
It didn't really look like you were happy to be.
Well, I am happy to be here. I enjoy the lives.
Fair play. You enjoy your life?
Lives?
Oh.
I don't enjoy my life. The lives, though, boost.
They boost your life?
Yeah.
They boost your life?
It's been a pep in a dark time.
There we go.
Okay.
Are we out? Are we what? Because
I think
here we go.
I've got this old school mic.
Yeah. We've just done the podcast, so we just thought, well, we'll just keep the set up. Baz is in the middle, so we give him a little mic so that that mic doesn't block the view of Baz, obviously. So
that's just because of my size.
No. Right, why did you bring the size thing into it? Because I never.
A big Napoleon here. Geez.
You know what I mean?
That's not a issue. It's just what you're saying.
If I say Napoleon and I say water slide, what's the reference?
Don't get it.
Baz?
Oh, Napoleon Dynamite?
No.
I was thinking that.
No. Water slide. Bill? If I say water slide and I say Napoleon, what am I talking about?
I don't know.
Oh my God, has no one seen Bill and Ted?
Yeah, but I don't remember that bit.
Oh my God, you're awful.
People
in the comments are screaming.
No. Ollie Ellis says, who do you think should start up front against City?
Probably Dom for tactical reasons, but I'd like to see Moise Keane play. But
Billy,
I think they'll
do us a favour. Go in Baz's bag and just get me the iPad for me, please.
What are you saying, kid?
What was the question?
Of Ollie Ellis, who do you think should start up front Saturday?
Dominic Calvin. Okay. Three goals in his last 2 starts.
Yeah, I think I'd play Dom from the start.
Thanks, mate.
And then be looking to get maybe Moise Keane in for the last half an hour, to be honest. Aaron says live on YouTube. Yes, Aaron, that's right.
And he also said Bill and Ted.
And he said Bill and Ted. Well, he should do.
Because he hosts
a film.
He hosts a Nerds podcast. Very good one called the Nerds Social Club podcast. Very good, I've heard.
Really?
Really good.
It's the social club bit that puts me off, to be honest.
Nerds never really like that, have you?
Never. I think it gives me the wrong kind of images.
Well,
Martin Hennessy says, do you think Mourinho could work alongside Brands and could Everton attract them anyway?
I don't really want him, but I don't think it's a good fit because Mourinho and Brands have got 2 different philosophies on football. Mourinho's very much win now, 3-year projects, likes to buy older players, experienced players. Brands tends to think longer term, wants to sustain success, and it's not just about the manager with Everton. We need to think long term. Maybe it depends how many managers. We have multiple managers, but the team just needs to just fit one manager's style. It needs to be sort of more ambidextrous, if you will.
Okay. You?
Do we need to stop talking about the manager getting sacked?
Yeah, I don't think we should. I think he's going to get sacked, so we probably should stop talking about it. But
let's just see.
I'm not happy. But
let's just see where we go. It's still early days, isn't it? We're in the next round of the cup. The league form hasn't been great. Let's give him an opportunity to turn it around. If it's still happening, coming November time, I'm sure other people will be putting them under pressure in the club. But maybe we just need to go. Certainly these next 2 games, let's see what we produce over the next fortnight. Yeah. That's how I'd look at it. Tom says, do you guys think Holgate should play alongside Mina or Keane from now on, given his pace at the back? Would work similar to Zuma and Keane from last season, one fast centre-back and a stopper?
The awareness and positional sense are really lacking, but Mason Holgate, that's his issue.
I'm afraid with Holgate, at the moment, the problem is with Holgate is that he's already looking at something after it's happened.
Yeah.
And that's not, with an experienced centre-backs or just young centre-backs who are really good, they already know what's going to happen before it's happened.
Yeah, they can sense danger. Yeah.
It's anticipation, isn't it?
It is, and I think he gets caught far too many times. And this is why I think this is why people in the game like him as a right-back. Because they go, well, there's not as much danger there, so we can move it over there. Maybe you can learn the things that make you a good defender. And I just at times I think he reacts rather than understanding what's going to happen.
Yeah, fair enough. Tom, do you think he could? let us know, Tom. Sophie Gallagher says, love Toffee TV, it's brilliant. Sigurdsson and Coleman need to remain on a bench. Thanks very much, Soph. Sigurdsson and Coleman remaining on a bench.
I don't think they will, but I think long to like medium term at least. Then I think we should try different things. Maybe Sidibe when we're trying to break teams down. Maybe a Iwobi for that pace, that power. Yeah, I'd like to certainly see that myself. Yeah.
Okay, Scruff is there. What score do you think against City?
I don't do predictions anymore.
No, I'm not predicting anything for City. Pain.
Goals will be in it. Let's leave it at that.
You have to score at minimum 2 to win.
I'm going full Club of Lang.
Okay, Robert Oldfield says, hi lads, great result last night. It was, Rob. Cameron Hay says, evening boys, evening Cam. Owen Park says, hi lads, shameless plug for my piece on the blog. Check out Owen's blog on Marco Silva on our website, toffeetvefc.com. Go and give it a read. Sophie Gallagher says, what does Ped think of It, Chapter 2?
I haven't seen it. I only just seen Chapter 1 about 2 weeks ago. So I haven't seen 2 yet. I haven't had a chance.
2.5 years.
The next film, I know, but I'm not a horror. I'm not into horror films. And then I was like, you know what? That looks all right. It looks a little bit Stranger Thingsy, and it is. And I love the original It with Tim Curry, but it was absolutely. And I love Stephen King. Just booked to go and see The Shining on Halloween at the Walton Picture House, which should be boss, because Shining's just The Shining. I've seen The Shining a million times, but if you've seen The Shining and you love it, make sure if you haven't, make sure you watch Ready Player One.
This is the exact same conversation
I've told you so,
last week.
And you still haven't seen it, have you?
No, I still watched the Dortmund documentary. I'm busy, man. I'm sorry, I'm busy, man.
You say that, but you're not.
Tom says, Yerry Mina played at right centre-back last night and had a better pass completion and long ball accuracy. Would like to see him on the right more often as he is quality on the ball. What do you think?
I don't mind. If you had a left-footed centre-half, certainly, but him and Michael Keane are both right-footed, and it depends, really. I've got no problem in Mina being on the right or Keane being on the left, wherever suits them. I think did Keane play on the right or the left last season? I can't remember. Was it on the left?
On the right.
He was on the right, so that's why, probably because Keane's more comfortable on the right, and Mina's obviously taking Zuma's place, so he's coming on the left. Yeah, I think Mina's a better defender. That's just me. But.
Okay. Tom also says, if Marco Silva shows the fans he isn't stubborn and finally drops Sigurdsson to play a Iwobi in the 10 or play a 4-3-3, I think fans will get behind them more. If
we saw change, I think people would do, because they go, all right, he's trying something, let's get behind. If you're just sticking to the same thing, people are going to start questioning more. That's just the nature of football. Yeah.
Steve Hardy says, hi lads, who do you want in the next round? I want Crawley or Colchester at home.
Yeah, definitely.
Thank you very much.
Both got good players.
Evertonian TV says, I'm making Everton videos, would love some feedback. Give him some feedback, please. Robert Oldfield says, glad you're back in Dom. Well, we are back in Dom, because we're backing every Everton player. We want to see them perform.
Sorry, it sounded like a political speech there. Just like
no, but we want our players to do well. I want Dom to become a 20-goal a season striker. Whether he will remains to be seen. But, you know, we want to be supportive. All of us, don't we? We all want the same thing, which is Everton winning. Tom says, did you see Moyes Keane was in the top 40 nominations for the Golden Boy? We did. Bobski says, here we go on another pod. Baz, Piv, excellent adventure. Evening, guys. Evening, Bobski.
Like that.
Saggy Dog says, support the bloody manager. We do. Jamie B says, are you worried about the fact if we don't beat City, we can go into the relegation zone?
No, it's early in the season to worry about that.
Well, would you be saying we were going to finish top 4, Jamie, if we'd have been in the top 4 now? Same principle, isn't it?
Yeah, it's
early on.
I've got the Patreon ones here.
Go on, and you.
Gary Ward says, howdy.
Howdy, guys.
He's got the siren on his little thing.
He's full on siren, isn't he?
Stephen Kelly says, alright lads, hope you're all well. Good trip to Sheffield last night. Good getting back to some old school grounds. Do you think there's a chance he could go with Holgate on Saturday, or maybe a 3 against City?
I think that's absolutely horrifying if you go against 3 against City. I've always said that. Never play a 3 against City, play 4 at the back.
It also says, keep up the good work. Paul says, thoughts on Iwobi playing number 10. I think we've already done that, haven't we? Kate Reynolds says, have you seen the article on Everton website with big smiley photo of Marco and Luca Dean?
No, I don't. It's propaganda in it, so I don't need it. It is though. Everton always, if on the fans' mood of Everton, Phil Neville used to do it like, I like Everton, back page of the Echo, big spread, Phil Neville with a thumbs up every time we lost. I don't really read stuff like that myself.
Kane says, made up, we're through and in the half of the next round, but I know I sound so negative, but if that was the better team yesterday, we'd have got beat. We're so slow on the ball, and it's clear that's clear to see the team lacks confidence. It's like any player is scared to make a forward pass or beat a man. Just hope we keep winning games and somehow the confidence grows. Haven't seen your post-match reactions or anything, but I thought we were average. I agree, Kane. I thought we started the game really well and then just stopped playing, and we shouldn't have. We should have just kept going and kept going and kept going. And I know in the second half there was a bit of a lull, and I think that annoyed some fans. I can understand that from a players and a managing point of view, and just calming down the game and seeing it out. But you know, they missed a couple of really good opportunities, and it's more that thing of, you know, us who couldn't go to the game last night, had to listen to the commentary and listening to Graham Stewart. He was quite scathing about the fact that the players didn't have a real go in the second half and didn't shine. Not that they didn't have a go; it was more to do with the fact that
too slow.
He's just he actually said, didn't he? Said, I want players to work hard for themselves. I want them to raise the standards. He said, you know, this could be 4-5 if we wanted it to be. And we didn't. We just sort of stopped playing, and that let them into the game. So I fully agree with you, Kane. Joe Max says in the last 2 games against City last season, we played 4-3-3 and 3-4-3. So would you be surprised if we used one of them systems on Saturday?
No, I think most of the time the reactionary. I don't think we haven't seen this yet. This season yet, a proactive change like that. It's always when we're behind, we go to these systems to try and get more players up front. I don't think the tactical decisions where he's trying to enter, we're 0-0, we're trying to win a game. It's always when we're behind.
He did last season, though. He played 3 at City, didn't he?
He did in Burnley as well, yeah.
Adam, I'll try and answer your question when I get a chance, mate. I'll try and sort it out, mate. It's not a private thing. It's just I don't want.
Yeah, okay.
Derek Hulton says, "Hi guys, got to watch first time this week. Been busy. I'm sorted to take part in the People's Place 5K. I'll have to walk, but looking forward to the event. Brilliant Degs, and make sure you can. It's the international weekend. If you can do something for the 5K, whether it's walk, jog, run, you know, I might come down on a BMX. Me and Baz on a tandem.
If you know your history.
BMX.
I used to.
No, not when you were 10, but
I used to have a mag burner. It's amazing.
Stranger things.
We'll leave that there.
I'm 80s kid, aren't I? And Stephen Kelly says, is Howard's Way going to be on Netflix or Amazon? It's going to be on. It's going to be available to buy. It won't be available to stream. So it might be eventually, but I believe it's going to be on Sky Store. It's going to be on Amazon to buy.
DVD.
Yeah, but it's going to be on a few streaming platforms, I believe. It was on. They tweeted it last night on the Howard's Way official. They tweeted the platforms it's going to be on to watch on demand, but it won't be on Netflix because that's obviously a streaming thing and that's a different thing. They want it, you know, and you'll be able to buy it on DVD as well. So yeah.
There you go. Ian Clark says, think DCL deserves to start. I noticed Bernard got dropped after scoring, as did Iwobi after scoring 2, and then DCL after his first start, all 3. He also says, when is the draw? Tonight, isn't it?
Yeah, it's after the game, at 4 o'clock in the morning, isn't it, usually, because it's Carabao.
It's after the Liverpool game.
Is it? Yeah, right.
After the
Remember that time? It was like 4 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah. And the next one was done from Asda, wasn't it? The next draw. Grant Westmeston says, don't you think Silva needs to be more ruthless?
I think Everton needs to be more ruthless in general, but yeah, the manager does. Yeah, he definitely does. He needs to less. But if players are not performing, then you can't just stick with them for the sake of sticking with them.
I mean, that's fair enough, isn't it?
Yep.
Paul says DCL or Keane for Saturday.
Tactically, I'd say DCL probably.
Logic 1991. Do you think fans need to have some reality check and realise we are 5 or so years away from challenging the top 4? El Pivote, the man. See, I don't buy into the 5-year thing away from challenging. I think it's nonsense.
It depends.
It can be eaten up in a year or 2.
We're still only second year into the Brands era. I'd say by year 3 you should have a squad that you think's capable of getting at minimum top 6 and then challenging top 4. So go another summer. It all depends on the manager as well, of course. T-Logic's the fella was saying before. He does scouting reports if anyone wants to have a look at him, the good stuff. But yeah. I think 5 years is quite a long time. I don't think many teams have 5-year projects, usually 3 more so than anything. So
when people say like we're 10 years away from that, I don't ever get that at all, because
Tottenham
Klopp turned it round.
I think Harry Redknapp got them fourth within like 2 or 3 years. So
I understand what you say. It looks like that, but I just don't think it is.
To be honest, I just want to see us playing with more appetite to win games. That's all I want.
That'd be nice, yeah.
You know, never mind like the position. It's the appetite. If we had more appetite to win games, I think we'd be a hell of a lot better off.
Yeah.
But we don't seem to have that appetite.
Aaron Jordan says, do you think we are still looking for a left-footed right winger with Richarlison moving back to the left and a Iwobi taking up a central role permanently?
I'd hope so, because I think that does work. I know not a lot of teams have got a left-footed right winger, and there's only so many ones in Europe that you'd say would be like 15 or so that you'd say would be the right target. But I would say that'd be an idea, because then you're getting that inside forward, and then you're making up the goals then. But you can still do it with the right foot as well. There's right-footed players out there to do it. It just depends on the system. I don't know what the system is at the moment, but it depends on the system and what the personnel you need to make that system work.
Sophie Gallagher says, imagine if we win the Carabao Cup, it'd be the first time I've ever seen us win a trophy. A lot of people as well, so to be fair.
I've only seen one.
Alfie Wright says, would you be interested in seeing a 4-2-2-2 formation at Everton, similar to Leipzig?
Yeah, me and Sean, who's at the half space, were discussing it back in August. It is a good system, because you get Richarlison more central, then you can get Bernard and Iwobi in free roles, then you can probably have a midfield that doesn't necessarily need to do much, in the sense that they don't need to sort of control the game, because then you've got more movements. But it depends. Silva seems to be happy with the 4-2-3-1. We'll see if it works, or he changes to the 4-3-3. Greg's article on The Athletic today hinted that he wants to change it, but only if certain players are available. So we'll see.
Owen Park says, can we stop the Arteta for manager show?
Oh, he doesn't like Arteta.
It's painful to read.
Doesn't he still want Dyche?
No, he doesn't want Dyche. He didn't say that, to be fair. His point is that Dyche is a better manager than Arteta, which, based on the fact that Arteta's never managed, is true. But, I suppose I'm 50-50 on the Arteta thing, if I'm honest.
Okay. Even in Jens, did anyone else have a face palm when he put Sigurdsson on instead of Keane?
No, I expected it, to be honest with you, last night. I expected all three subs, because it's experience to see the games. He's very much in favour of experience. It's a lot. That's why Tom Davies comes very much in and out the side, because he doesn't trust him in a lot of games. Callum
Jack says, hey guys, hope all is well. Please give a shout out to my dad, David Price, massive fan.
He's got a big suit.
David, hello. Reece Carter, Baz, you like DCL? Are you asking me or are you telling me?
I don't understand why people don't like DCL.
I like him. Do I think he's going to score enough goals for us? No idea. Would I play him over Moyes Keane a lot of the time? No. But doesn't mean I think he's crap or he should be sold. MC says, can we have a good cup run? If we get a decent home draw tonight, then why not?
I think it's pivotal, isn't it, this next one? This one feels like the pivotal one. Yeah. If we can get... Look at him. Trademark me! I think this one, if we can get a decent home draw and get through this one, I think it opens it up then massively, and I think you start taking it really seriously.
Well, if we got Colchester or Crawley at home, and we beat them in the quarter-final, so why not? Do you know what I mean?
Milton Keynes.
Yes, Milton Keynes Dons at home will be alright. Sophie Gallagher would be interesting to see Calvert-Lewin and Keane play up front, and see them having some joy with those two. Did you see the old funny Spurs tweet last night? Don't remember it, to be honest.
Yeah, it was the one where we're having it was from 2013. It said we're having problems at Colchester. Hang on, we're having problems.
Was it? Yes, right, okay. T-Logic, I support the manager, but if he doesn't last, you think Marcelo Bielsa should be in the conversation?
No, and I know people like Marcelo Bielsa because of what he's done at Leeds, but if you ever look at Marcelo Bielsa, he needs a very specific type of circumstance to be successful. He needs a specific type of players. It was disastrous at Lille. He almost got relegated.
He needs players who are fit.
He does, and the problem is he's never won anything since 1993 when he was in Argentina. Yeah, and he's a great manager, but he's more of a great tactician, concept man more than a winner, and I don't think he's what Everton need.
Go on.
Kane says, gutted Dominic Calvert-Lewin didn't get the hat-trick in the first half. Thought he was excellent for us last night though. Just hope Keane gets a run soon and the goal. Want him to come on last night. If the draw goes our way this year, which it never does, I think we have a massive chance. I thought that chance that he missed for his third goal was just so symptomatic of Dominic Calvert-Lewin.
Yeah, he does everything right except the score.
No, but it was almost like it was. Do you know? It was that thing. It was that being completely committed into it. Whereas I think top strikers there, with all the confidence, who know they're going to score, there's a nonchalance there, and they just put it in a corner, and they're not worrying about just getting it on target. And we've said this before in the Villa game, didn't we? even with the 2 goals, I still think he's the just get it on target first kind of striker. Whereas someone like Aguero there, or even someone like Richarlison, they just have no worries at all and just put it in a corner and
they don't care. They don't think about anything else.
Yeah, that's what I mean. They're not thinking. No. They're just thinking this is going in. Whereas you look at him straining and. Or you can see that all he's thinking about is get this on target and it might go in. And I think that comes from just having just a sense of yourself and that you are good enough and that you know, because it's at the end of the day, in training, that ball comes through him. 99 times out of 1,000. He's heading that in without any problem.
He would just head it in, wouldn't he? Yeah. But that's what he's got to improve. Ian Clark says, anyone been to the Dixie Hotel? Had a few beers after a match in there. It's sound and 20% off a pint. Robert Oldfield says, well done to Everton on honouring the Thomas Cook tickets for this weekend. Yes.
Good stuff, yeah.
Agreed. Martin Hennessy says, did you hear Greg O'Keefe's comments about insider info on Silva wanting to play 4-3-3 with no Sig or Bernard in the starting 11?
Yeah, that was that. I read the Athletic article and put it out, didn't I? Yeah, that's what Greg said. You've got to trust Greg's source. He's got sources at Everton. I assume he spoke to one of the coaching staff. I assume, and obviously I think that the plan, Marco, when he came, said he wants to play 4-3-3. It is a bit baffling that he can't play 4-3-3 with the players when Morgan Schneiderlin is a 6, maybe not the same type as Gavan, but he is a 6. So, but whatever, it's up to Marco Silva what he feels comfortable.
Any team that hasn't got Bernard in, I'm not happy about. Forever Everton said, "What do you think of the 2 clubs one City banner?" I thought it was brilliant. I did. We, contrary to what idiots put on Twitter, Liverpool fans and Aldridge and stuff, we have been nothing but supportive over it because it's our city. We do support them, and it was, to go there and to take that banner, I thought was classy. So there you go. Keith Powell, Wobie has to play as our number 10 now. It's obvious. Ian Clark says Leicester have proved how quickly it can happen. Zentity CFW says, do you think we will win our next opponent? Man City.
Difficult.
Be a tough one. Keith Powell thinks Sidderby should also be a starter, even in midfield. Edward Denham says, I know Sheffield United had 25% possession on Saturday, but their manager is very underrated.
He's good, yeah.
And Alfie Boyo 206 is so jealous of Leicester. They will be the ones instead of us for the top 6. It's September and they've played 6 games.
I understand why people say that though, because I think they've got the 3rd highest points total behind Liverpool, Man City in 2019.
We'll see.
Hold on.
In May.
If Vardy gets injured though, it's Iheanacho and they're struggling. I think they've
put things together a lot quicker than we've put things together.
Yeah, they're a good league.
I think one thing you'd say about Brendan Rodgers is he knows what he wants.
Yeah. He knows the stars.
They're all in his mouth. No, but he knows what he wants, and he sets his team out. I think, like you've just said there, Silva knows what he wants and yet isn't playing it. What's all that about? Go and play what you want to play.
Leicester, rain or shine, I'll play the way Rodgers wants.
I think we ended the season, and we said it on loads of shows, we were like, we've got a blueprint for how we play, we just need a new striker. And yet we come into the new season, and it feels like it's all been ripped up again. So therefore, the blueprint's gone, and it's like, well, and then Bernard's out the team, and then someone else is out, and it's all just like, gone up in the air. Whereas I think Rodgers has gone in and gone, I want him, and him, bring them into the team. I know where Maddison's going to play. I know where Vardy's going to play. And yes, if they lose those players, I understand they'll be in a difficult position. But it's when you've got those players, it
works.
But at the end, but what I would say about Silva is he hasn't got his players. He hasn't got Gabaman. He hasn't got Gomez at the moment, and and he hasn't got a centre back that with pace. And I think he was let down there. So.
Fair enough. Jamie B, I was made up we won yesterday, but what really did my Swede in was Silva bringing on his pet favourites in Walcott, Schneiderlin and Gylfi. What would be wrong with bringing
It is quite rigid the way, like, when we want to change things, it's the same type of change, the same position. It's weird.
But don't you think, though, yesterday at 2-0 with 20-25 minutes to go, you bring on a Sigurdsson because he can keep the ball.
Well, that's what I said.
And then you bring on Walcott because you've got an out ball, and then Snyder came on with 2 minutes to go. Sigurdsson was brought on because he can keep the ball.
I think it was the fact. I think everyone wanted to see Moise Keane come
it's the
on. I think the
expectation.
other two subs probably wouldn't have made.
What if the manager, right? And listen, it's me here defending the manager. What if the manager looked at Moise Keane and thought, I want you fit and 100% for Saturday because I've got a plan for you. I've got a plan for you, right? And the last thing I actually want you to do tonight is come on this pitch. I don't want you on this pitch. I want you 100% fit, because we've got 2 games this week.
Everyone's watching the game during this big speech.
You know what I mean? Sometimes there's a lot of the time where you just want to play these games. You don't want half the team to play.
I understand that he went for experience to see the game out, because obviously the cups is important this season. But I just think people find the predictability.
What if he brought those 3 players on? Because they're not starting on Saturday.
I think Schneiderlin still get someone start.
No, but what if he did do that? Will people turn around on Saturday and say, well, that makes more sense now, because he didn't bring those players. He brought those players on because he didn't want to risk Moise Keane, and Gomez wasn't part of the squad because he's playing. Just saying, that's sometimes the way it goes.
Maybe, we don't know, do we? Keith Powell, Ped appetite, we've been starving for months. Owen Parks wants to know the 3 teams who'll get relegated.
Ooh, I think that's it.
I think Norwich, I think Newcastle United, and I think who else is absolutely rubbish as well?
Villa,
yeah.
Southampton.
No, I think they'll be alright under Hassan. I think they just need it. Gineppo being injured is quite a bit of a bad thing for them, because he's a match winner.
Let's have a look here. Paul Tony says, hi lads, really annoyed by a certain section of our fan base who consistently blame
Dominic Calvert-Lewin, the manager.
Duncan Ferguson.
Who?
Yeah.
Coaching for our shortcomings. Do you seriously think he coaches anything but what he's been told by the manager? What are your thoughts on this? Duncan Ferguson does what he's told by the manager. He's not like he's a coach. He works under the manager. The manager will say, this is what we're doing today. Go out and take that drill or whatever. And then he'll feed back the information. I don't know what, if a teacher teaches the national curriculum, is it his fault for what your kids learn? Do you know what I mean? It's
well, actually, yes, it is.
Yeah, in some respects it is. That wasn't the greatest analogy. No, but I agree with you, Reece, that it makes me laugh, this one about Duncan. It's like, he gets sack him because we haven't been anything but failures with it. Well, it's the same with players then. Get rid of your goalkeeper who's played under 3 managers. Get rid of your right back who's been under 5 managers. Get rid of it. Duncan Ferguson does what he's told, and his input will only be. He will only be able to give so much input without the manager doing what he wants to do. Do
you think that people's opinion of Ferguson is based on his playing career as well? Because obviously to some he's a hero, isn't he? To some he's not. He's overrated. So, and I think the people still harbour that he was overrated. And the adulation of the fans, they like to blame him for things.
I think people think that he hasn't got the job by earning it, and it's more like a form of nepotism.
Could be though.
Do you know what I mean?
But I also think they expect them to be like jumping up and down and grabbing,
strangling Freund and
all that.
Yeah.
Derek Hulton says, I myself get fed up watching us defend corners, free kicks without leaving an out ball on the halfway line. Why can we not leave someone like Bernard up on the line, pulls out an extra defenders, back to mark, and let's face it, what good does Bernard do when defending a corner?
No, that's right.
Well, Ashley Cole wasn't exactly the biggest, was he? So
no, but I would. I'd always have 2 up.
I'd have a striker. Obviously, Dominic Calvert-Lewin's so tall, so he goes back. But if anyone's under 5'11", you should have at least one.
I'd have 2 on the halfway line. Keeps 3 defenders back.
He does, yeah. You pin people, yeah.
David Collins says, we'll get a Manchester club, I think. It was nice to see a Wobie through the middle and Dominic Calvert-Lewin getting goals, though. Why not use Keane after 65, 70 minutes? Well, I think we've just answered that. Mark Zobel says, random one for the Piv, but thoughts on I can never get this fella's name right.
I'll spell it.
The fella from PSG, Marquinhos.
What?
Marquinhos.
Marquinhos.
I can never pronounce
He's fantastic, yeah. To be honest with you, I'd expected him to be further along than when he is now. I think it's took him time to find his best position. He's playing defensive midfield, centre back. I think they're playing a back 3 a lot this year, PSG.
He says a midfield 3 of
Marquinhos.
Very defensive, but as we saw versus Real Madrid, very effective.
But that's what Liverpool do. Liverpool haven't got like super creative 3-man midfield, have they? They've got workers like Garner, like Verratti's very good passing the ball. And they break it down higher up the pitch, win it back. You get Mbappe 1-on-1 with the defender, it's over, isn't it? You know what I mean? That's the key.
And Stephen Kelly says, are we going to leave the EU, Ped? And when is Boris due at the Tower? I still don't know. I still don't know whether we'll leave.
No one knows.
That's the point, isn't it? I don't think Boris knows. And Boris, you know, he did something illegal, but it's all right. Don't worry about it.
As you say, he brushes his hair with a
I'd have made him fly home on Thomas Cook.
Strong with the sea.
Abigail Barfoot says we have to be realistic with ourselves. We're nowhere near the top 6 or 7. We're more 8th to 13th.
Yay!
Zentity says Sidderby should start over Coleman. Aaron Jordan says, do you prefer tactical consistency game to game, or would you prefer we mixed it up more against certain teams? 4-2-3-1 against the top 6. 4-3-3 against teams.
I think you
below
have to have
us.
an element of flexibility. And I know some will go, well, teams don't change. Pep's changed this season. He's played 4-2-3-1, 4-3-3, 4-1-4-1. Everyone changes. I think if you look at Julian Nagelsmann at Leipzig, he changes 3 times during the game. You have to have certain type of players for that. I'm not saying Everton should do that. I just think we should be less predictable. Teams should be able to set up before they step on the pitch for us.
Oh, this is a good one. Glenn Watson, if you had to get rid of 2 of the following 3 players immediately and permanently, but you had to keep the 3rd and he had to be in every matchday squad this season.
Oh, come on.
Who would it be? Nias, Balassi and Ramirez. Go start with you, Pedro.
I'd keep Nias.
I'd keep Ramirez.
I think Nias has got some kind of effectiveness to him.
Yeah.
I mean, he's not brilliant, but
I think Sandro's still a better player.
I'd have Nias.
When was the last time Sandro scored?
Listen, I'm not saying he's good. I'm not saying he's terrible. I just think that it was the worst idea going to Coleman for him. It's killed his career.
Luke Hall, what do you think will get Marco the sack?
More than probably a game run of 5 losses. Yeah, 5 losses on the bounce. Probably.
Tom, will Sidderby now finally become our starting right back? Need Coleman out of this side as soon as possible.
Probably not yet. I'd say City. He'll go with his experienced hand.
Going back to that question before that, I'll tell you what I think possibly could get Marco Silva the sack is if someone like Mourinho made it very clear to the club that he would be interested.
Do you think that would?
I don't think Brands would take that.
I think no, but
I think the Sheedy
said
get all
Mourinho
excited, yeah.
or somebody like that. What I mean is, we've had this discussion before. If you've got a manager and you're okay with that manager, and then let's say the world's best manager come calling and said, do you want me? I'll be happy to be your manager. Would you be prepared to just go? You're gone, fella. Would you? Because that's essentially what they did when they got Klopp.
They did, yeah.
They didn't have to sack Rodgers, really. They could have hung on. But soon as Klopp showed a bit of leg, they were like, see you later,
well,
fella.
I'm waiting for the Mourinho story if we lose another game to be, I think Everton are a big club. That's it's
that's
on there.
Start,
and the players are starting to get agitated as well, because when them stories start leaking out, it's the beginning of the end. And I think you'll get that, Mourinho. I think Everton should be better off from where they are. Sam Allardyce did it on being sports when we were having that bad run that time. Yeah.
Sophie Gallagher, who does Andy reckon will be our long-term Coleman replacement?
They're not at the club, so we'll have to buy someone in. I don't think it's Sidibe. I think he's 27 with injury history. I don't think he'll be the long-term answer. And John Joe Kenny, maybe, who knows, but I doubt it. At this moment in time, I might have a different opinion at the end of the season, but at this moment in time, I doubt it.
Aaron says 157 watching, 14 likes. Get the likes up. Shouldn't need to be asked really, people, should you? Zen Titty, do you think we should play 2 strikers?
I think there's definitely times in the game where we should play 2 strikers, and I think maybe against some teams we should be a little bit bolder. But with this midfield, no, because we need that extra body in there because we've got no pace in there. That's the problem. At the end of the day, if you want an extra striker, how about having 2 extra strikers? How about having 3 strikers? Right? Not 1, not 2, but 3. You have that.
Essentially a striker.
Exactly, but that's what I'm saying. But he's not. He's not though. He's playing as a winger. Which right? He's playing in midfield. He's not playing as a front 3. So therefore, the only way to do that is by putting 3 men in midfield and saying you do all the work. And again, that's what we say about them. That's what they do. They have 3 midfield that look after the fullbacks and look after so they've always got 5. Going forward, and or at least 4 with the other fullback covering over on themselves,
and one of the midfielders joining in.
Yeah, so that's why he wants Oxlade-Chamberlain in the team, and that's why he bought Keita, so that they had an extra man. So they'd always have 5 going forward, and that's the problem with Everton, is that we don't do that.
We haven't got that man from the field. Yeah.
Players go forward, and the whole of the midfield just stands there with their hands on the like that, just watching. That's a major problem.
Okay, Alfie Boyo 206 says Baz Piv Marcelino for manager if he.
I like Marcelino. I just don't think he's right for Everton. But again, I'm not always right, so he could be perfect for Everton. But it just, I don't know. To be honest with you, 99, probably 100% of managers people say I probably find the problem with. So it's very hard picking a manager. It is so hard picking a manager. It really is. Everyone's got the favourite, but even then, like I like Marcelo Gallardo, but he's never been in Europe, so that's a risk. There's always risks to things. That's why I don't think we should go for a Premier League, because there's still a risk, aren't they? Like Eddie Howe or something like that. Max
Redfern, hi, Pet, Baz and Andy. Hello, Max.
Hello.
Someone wants to know, hang on, is it gone? When these things jump.
Jump for my love.
There, a bit of impromptu singing.
Glenn Watson, Baz, what is your go-to Halloween costume? What's the plan? Have we any plans for a spooky Halloween live at 5? Have we? I don't
know. No. What date is 31st of 4?
I don't do Halloween costumes.
Neither do I, really. I hate fancy dress.
Michael Winstanley, hope you're all well. A win, happy days. We'll beat City at the weekend.
At Halloween, I just turn all the lights off and never answer the door.
No, we know that you won't beat Slick or seeing the kids are bombed.
Shut the door.
Owen says we don't have dice players, nor is the recruitment suited to what he'd want. Why are we? Owen, just get over the dice thing. He's
trolling.
He is what he is.
He's trolling.
Stop it. Sentity wants to know if you'd have Mourinho as manager. You wouldn't, would you? You would though, wouldn't you?
It's too simplistic to say he's a winner. I'm sorry, it just is.
No, I don't think he really suits the club. But I do think there's advantages to having him.
Yeah, I think he looks good in the suit.
No, I don't even think it's that. I think he instantly demands respect. And also there's a gravitas to him that he would bring to the club as well.
Do you think modern players are going away from his... Well, maybe the siege
mentality... Maybe they shouldn't be.
Maybe the siege mentality work, because we are a siege mentality club, so maybe it would work, but I don't know.
I think the pressures would be different to us, though.
Yeah.
I think he'd be able to mould the team, whereas United, there was no time for him.
I think the fans would love him.
And he also, in his defence, he won 2 trophies and finished runners-up in his only real full season there. So.
Teddy Sass says, I'm still backing Marco, just about... What's with some Blues full on condemning the shouts of Mourinho for manager? I think it's more of a defence mechanism, because realistically we probably won't ever get him.
Probably not.
I agree with that.
He's probably going to Real Madrid.
I guarantee if we ever managed to get Mourinho, we'd all be absolutely made up.
I think
you back him, no doubt about it.
I think we'd be made up, because we'd have
someone. I think because we'd be all over the news.
He'd front it up though, wouldn't he?
Yeah, well, as I say,
even your face has changed now, because you're thinking of matching him.
No, but I didn't think about this. His main thing is going to everyone. Everyone hates us. Everyone hates us. Let's get behind that work at Everton. But I just don't like the way it's 3 years and out, and we'd be left in whether it works or not. It might not work at all. We'd be worse off after 3 years, maybe whatever. But.
Thor Martinson says, "How did you guys feel when Silva played Tom Davies and then he basically gave them a goal after 20 seconds?" Well, he did. I mean, it wasn't a goal. No. But I fully agree.
Why does everyone hate our young players?
My heart, I was listening to it, my heart just sunk when it because listening's on the radio and you can't see it, and you know the striker's bearing down on goal, and all you think is, oh, it's going to be in the back of the net.
Is there not an element of you should look at the man? I'm not saying the manager's a fault, but shouldn't you say, is the manager developed these players properly? I'm not saying him.
I just think he was getting Pickford on his toes early doors. Wake up, stay alert. Yeah. Saturday, you let us down.
Someone should have woke him up then.
It was one thing he done in a game. God.
Ingy said, it would be proper Everton to beat Man City on Saturday after the performance we've had recently, though. And Teddy Sass says, what do you rate about Hasselhuttl, Andy? He says, I thought he'd done well when he first came in, but whenever I've watched Southampton, they've been poor.
I watched him in Germany for RB Leipzig. They finished second with him as manager. I thought they were really, really good. Playing 4-2-2-2, very smart pressing system. And before he went to Southampton, I thought that was the perfect match, the players. So yeah,
he's done nothing with them.
I don't know what people expect them with them. They've got one of the worst squads in the Premier League.
Like 13th, 14th.
Yeah, that's the best he can do. They've spent 50 million in the summer.
No, what I'm saying, but they're not, are they? They were 17th to 17th now.
No, I don't. I expect them to be mid-table-ish. I wouldn't say top half though. It's just in the nature of the game. I think he may be able to get a better job down the line with someone else, but I don't think.
True. Martin Edwards says, "Watch the start of Travolta's new movie."
Got he?
The Fanatic. It starts off with credits to the Bill Kenwright film and a little Z Cars jingle. There you go.
I don't think I'll ever watch that film.
Bill Kenwright, John Travolta now.
There you go. Jay Caddy says, what do you think about UEFA creating a third competition? Listen to the podcast, Jay. We discuss it at length.
Good conversation in the
We
podcast.
laugh.
Bobski says, it's great that Tariq Kenny's been seen as the most dangerous defender. Have you seen him? What have you thought? I haven't seen much. I've seen bits of the highlights on the Bundesliga highlights, and he's looked good. But
yeah, it's not been bad. He's still.
They're made
getting,
up.
Yeah, they are.
They're absolutely made up.
But they give players time. Even if people make mistakes.
Wagner, isn't it? As well?
Yeah, and he's going to say, "This is where you've gone wrong in the Premier League." It's like you've made a mistake. You're out. That's it. You know what I mean?
Davis should thrive over there.
It's money driven, isn't it?
The Premier League's eating itself because we're not giving anybody any time to do anything. And even now, between games, it's like every game. And I mustn't be the only one who feels this way, but every defeat feels like the worst thing in the world. And
it's fake on week to week, yeah.
It just. And
there's no context to
football. There's no, and I've said this before as well. The problems are the pressures are falling out the Premier League are so huge.
Yeah.
I mean, they can ruin your club for years, like literally years. Whereas in the Bundesliga, what you do feel like is that if the big clubs do get relegated, they're going to come back the year after with minimum fuss as well. Whereas the Premier League, you go down now, you ain't coming back unless you can keep all your players.
Yeah,
you ain't coming back for a while, and that's the problem. They can destroy clubs. Look at Sheffield Wednesday last night. They went down. You know, when the early
2001,
2000s, and last night there's no one there. They're playing second players in a game really they should have been up for and thought, right, we might be able to get something out of this, and they're not. They're just let's just get out of this cup because what's the point? And that's the problem, isn't it?
Ian Lyons says, Baz, I'm with you on Leicester thing. We'll see at the end of the season who's best. Exactly, because there's so much nonsense that's chattered early on in the season. It was the same at Leicester last year. It's exactly the same at Leicester last year. They're going to do this, they're going to do that. We had 3 months off and still finished above them. So, Bobski, 24 likes. Yeah, people letting us down. There they are. Keith Powell says, I'm really sorry to say this again, but Walcott and Schneidlin are costing us $11.5 million a year, and it's totally shite.
Yeah, I think they'd be moved on if they could be, but you can't change a whole squad into just 2 windows. It takes time. That's the unfortunate part about it.
People have to want them as well.
Yeah, it's very tough. But Schneidlin's on a lot of money. Teams won't pay them in Europe.
Aaron Jordan says, has Richarlison's defensive contributions gone under the radar with oddly high tackles per game for a right winger?
They have. He does concede a lot of progressive passes because of his position sometimes. But in terms of the press, he's probably our best presser. In terms of winning the ball back, Delphi Sigurdsson is a good presser, but doesn't win the ball back as much.
Stephen Kelly says, "What do you think Foden will make? Do you think Foden will make it at City if not cheeky loan bid in January? Question: will Marco still be the manager at the end of the season? Yes or no?"
Do you want to take this or do you want me
to? Go on.
Foden, I wouldn't do a loan. I think we're just developing other teams' players. We need to develop our own. Foden's fantastic. I think he should make it at City once David Silva goes out. He's one of the best English players I've seen in the last 15 years at that age. It just depends, though. It's all about development. If he's still not getting games at 2021, then he's going to be in trouble. But he's a good player.
Do you think he'll still be the manager at the end of the season?
Yes, I do think Mark.
David Collins has also said Mark only has 18 months left in his contract, doesn't he?
He does.
Yes, next year will be a year left, and then Everton obviously can decide whether they want to pay him off for $3 million or not. It's up to them.
Michael Winstanley says, would you play DCL and Keane Richarlison as a 2? If not, why not? Well, why not? Michael, give them a go.
It's just behind them. What you set up behind, you can't go flat 4-4-2 because no wingers are based on.
Nothing else is really working, so try something different. Sensitive. If we have a good run in the EFL Cup, how do you think we'll do in the FA Cup? I think we'll do well, depending on the draw, because confidence will be up. Robert Tui says, what's your take on players snubbing kids for an autograph?
It's a Liverpool thing, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it's naughty. I think you should try to.
Depends.
To remember the
community
fans.
Clubs are the best clubs.
I think it depends, though. I think it does depend on where and when it happens. That's what I would say.
Yeah, I get that.
Everton have a thing after the home games where the players come out after the game, and if they did it there, then I wouldn't be very happy. But when players are coming off the bus and going into the ground, that's different because they're supposed to be focused and they might be under instructions by the club. So it depends where it is. You can't just say just because they've done it in a certain place that they're not nice people. Sometimes they're getting told by the club not to do it, and sometimes they've got to get into the ground and get changed and all the rest of it. So it just, as I say,
I long for the good old days. We used to go to the car park at Goodison and get to meet Richard Goff and Kevin Campbell and get them to sign things for you. It was great. They were nice people, them too, by the way. Alex Niago, not so.
Michael Winstanley, Man United, Norwich and Villa to be relegated.
If only.
Max Redfern, do you think DCL will start on Saturday? Yes. EAS, what's with the whole Silva out thing? I think everyone needs to calm down, as we wouldn't be talking so negatively if we'd won that game 1-0 against Sheffield United. It's one result, not like losing 7 games in a row.
It's not one result though, is it? It's at least 3 results. All 3 defeats have been really poor performances, and this is what I've said before. The manager has very little backup from the club. His PR is non-existent.
Because people don't know, man.
Exactly.
We did that podcast last week.
Olaf Soderback says, "Hi,
whoa,
I'm from Sweden. I'm coming over for the Norwich game in November. The thing is, we booked the hotel and tickets with Thomas Cook. Everything is paid for. Anybody got a clue if we can get our tickets, or are we screwed?" Well, Olaf, what I would suggest you do straight away is get in touch with the club. I think you'll get your money back because it's all covered, but you'll need to speak to the club about tickets. I'm sure if those tickets have been allocated to Thomas Cook, then therefore they're unsold in terms of they're not just going to go, oh, blah blah blah. They'll all be in your name. Just make sure you get in touch with the club straight away, and everything, all the paperwork and everything should be there. You should get all your money back, but make sure you clear it up with them. And hopefully Everton will just, I don't know what they'll do, but you might have to sort out your own flights and that, but just get on it straight away. That's all the advice we can give you, really, but because Everton should have like a hotline or something.
Well, Everton are on it all for Saturday, but get in touch with them ASAP. That's what I was saying.
Lee Middleton says, "I went last night. Aside from the first 15-20 minutes, it concerned me a bit. I thought with Davis and Iwobi in midfield, we looked to have more tempo, but it was so slow and lethargic again. It was frustrating at times to see Davis on the ball, looking to go forward, but the movement ahead was poor. And then when Davis has to turn back, it's him that gets the flack from fans."
There's also an element though, he's under pressure. If he makes mistakes, he's going to help the team again. That's another thing. When players make mistakes in the Premier League teams, it's why they become safe players. I always said Ross Barkley for Chelsea's now like that, and Matej Kovacevic when he went to Real Madrid's like that. They start playing within themselves, not to make mistakes.
Someone like Tom Davis as well. It's hard to come into a game like that. You know, he hasn't played any football apart from like the first game of the season. How many minutes has
he played since February? Not that
very,
many.
Very little. So it's
hasn't started the game since Watford away.
Exactly. So
it's difficult. It's why. It's a mockery why these players don't play in a reserve team, but they don't. Paul says, "Do you think the club should be doing more to help the originals? I know we were poor on Saturday, but the atmosphere were again subdued. These lads really want to make a difference to that, but currently it's falling flat on its face. I really believe the atmosphere of the ground can affect how we play."
I think the club is trying to help the originals. I don't know how much they can do. They did apparently, and I don't know whether it's true, they promised them that section, and it isn't all for them.
They didn't do it for them, and then they got the stewards to sit them down.
Which isn't good.
There needs to be communication between both sides to fix it. Yeah, I support the originals. I think they're trying.
I think if promises have been made, which I don't know if they have or not, I can't say.
They have meetings like
then what, you know, and they've been let down on them, and that's poor from the club. And if it is true, and these things came out from, I think, came from the group, was that the first game of the season, the stewards and people were telling them to sit down, and there's people. The whole point was it that they were given a section that they would be together, and they could create an atmosphere from, and that's not happening, because I haven't, even though the atmospheres have been generally better, I haven't heard much coming from that corner, and that's because they're not all together. They can't make a noise. They can't sort of have that almost like that away feeling when they're together, because if they're in bits and bobs, you know, you see when you go to away games, after time you look down your row. I mean, I went to Palace away last season, and there was about 50 of us to a seat. It was all people just wanted to be together with their mates and create an atmosphere, and I understand that, you know, that goes against safety regulations, but at least put them together so they don't have to do that, so that they're in their seats together. Again, if people are making promises and not living up to them, then you can understand why fans get frustrated at that. You're meeting them, you're having meetings with them, but if it's not getting sorted, then this is what's going to happen. Teddy Sass says the Gylfi Sigurdsson changes didn't really bother me that much yesterday, but Walcott just depresses me. And Teddy also says, why do you hate Mourinho? Andy, I reckon we'd be the ideal club at the ideal stage to reinvent himself, and he'd embrace us. I think that this personally suits us as a fan base. Andy, I think you've got serious problems. You need to sort your head out. Because
you're adding this on.
Teddy wouldn't say that.
But he is sassy.
He is sassy.
Well, listen, I haven't got a problem with Mourinho. I think he's one of the best coaches in the top 5 easily in the last 20 years. He was fantastic. I think the game's slightly passed him by at Man United, and I think his methods just didn't work. Now, whether that's the club didn't fit the manager, I just don't think his methods work. Look, he's loving himself.
Well, no one's worked. It hasn't worked for Moyes. It hasn't worked for Van Gaal. It hasn't worked for Mourinho. It hasn't worked for
but let's have a look at the specific set of circumstances that Mourinho's had since he left Porto. Inter Milan, biggest club, one of the biggest clubs in Italy, spent a lot of money on older players.
Won the Champions League.
Real Madrid.
Won the Champions League.
No, that was Real Madrid, but Inter Milan. I'm just going to keep saying he won the Champions League.
He won the...
Forget the
Inter Milan, he won the Champions League.
It's the set of circumstances in which he was successful that they don't apply to Everton. The players aren't the same.
No, I agree. I'm not looking. I think the Man United thing is a slight red herring because he was fighting against the system. He told them clearly what he wanted. He wanted Pogba out the club, and he wanted.
He bought Pogba.
I know,
that's how ridiculous it is.
But did he buy Lukaku? Did he buy Pogba, or did Adidas buy Pogba?
Well, probably.
This is the point, isn't it? We sat here week after week doing the footy show, available on Patreon, talking about the situation, and it was always going to be Pogba the winner, because the point being is you don't put Mourinho in posters wearing the kit. That's the point, isn't it? He was a £90 million. I'm
going to be honest with you though, if you can't get the best out of Paul Pogba, then you shouldn't be the manager of Manchester United.
Wasn't that Mourinho's issue though? Mourinho's issue was
he's playing defensive midfield,
but he couldn't get the best out of him because he played defensive midfield for France.
The problem with Mourinho, and the clever thing about Mourinho, is he's very good in the press. He'll come out and go, "Well, didn't get me this, that." Managers always want more. Marco Silva said in the summer. Pochettino's still moaning. Managers always complain, but they were happy with the players they got in the summer because they wouldn't agree to bring them into the club.
Didn't he also say that he wanted a director of football? Wasn't that the thing he said?
Well, that's Ed Woodward's problem, because Ed Woodward doesn't want to
I'm not saying Mourinho would work at Everton, but
I just think it's a risk.
Just don't think. Well, it is a risk, but I think every manager's a risk. Arteta's a risk. Gallardo's a risk.
As I said, I'd probably say no to it.
You know what's not a risk, don't you?
Jaffa cakes aren't a risk.
And David Moyes, no thank you.
J Mac says blaming Duncan writing off Moyes Keane. Twitter is full of bellends. It is. Jay, you're right.
Allegedly.
Sonny, 495 million spent on players since Mashiri came in. Isn't it 419? And isn't the net spend not that
No,
mad?
because of
Lukaku, Stones, Barkley.
Did he wear a suit when he bought them all?
No, do you know what though? I like to separate it to Brands, Coleman, because Coleman wrecked, wasted money, and Brands hasn't really wasted money yet. So separate the two out, because it's not. There's no continuity in project.
Anyone who Brands bought, or for the most part who Brands bought, is worth probably twice as much as what we paid for.
Yeah, look at Dean.
Yeah, definitely. Michael Winstanley said didn't watch the game last night. How did Tom play? But Tom was up and down. He started nervously, nearly give a goal away. Then I think he improved, and then, like everybody in the second half, it just all went a bit flat. But like Ped said before, he's not played, so
it's hard, isn't it?
Difficult.
He hasn't played. Sadiq hasn't played. Holgate hasn't played. You're throwing them all into the mix. So always playing in a different position.
Johnny Hodgson's got a great thing here. I reckon Silva's playing brilliant mind games. We're going to be bang average till a derby, then spread them up and down the pitch, at which point I'll be getting Silva's face tattooed on my chest.
That's not a one-game season.
I'll have it tattooed on.
Max Redfern, we've answered 80-12 times. Do we think DCL will start on Saturday? Yes. Getting Wyn Jones says, I love Toffee TV. Keep up the good work, lads. Thank you, Getting. Thomas Stone says, hi, lads. Just want to say thank you for all the content you put out. Thank you, Thomas. Michael Winstanley, hit the like button, everybody. That's from him. Abby Gale Barfoot says, I hope we go for Poulsen in January. He's a dynamic, tall and well-paced striker. Apparently Everton watched them over the weekend.
He's a complete forward, and I just don't. As I was speaking to Manuel Veth, who's a German journalist, and I just don't think Everton can attract him. I really don't. I think RB Leipzig are going for the title in the Champions League. He's a first choice player. Julian Nagelsmann's the new manager. I just don't think we'll be able to get him, I'm going to be honest. Okay.
Luke Hall says, I love Richarlison and Bernard's work ethic, getting back, but it feels silly having our most creative players doing the hard yards. What do you think of that?
Sorry, I was just horrified by another tweet there, sorry.
Horrified?
Yeah. The one by J Mac. It's lower.
It's lower.
It's there, right there.
Yeah.
There. Yeah, where his finger is. That's horrible. That's horrible.
That's not good.
Don't ever do that to your dog.
Come on,
People do it to kids, though, to be fair.
But I mean, do whatever. Not whatever. I mean, this sounds weird with no context, doesn't it?
Some people do it to the bird as well.
He's saying, yeah. What you're saying. Keith says, well, Ped, then what you're saying is we need to play 4-4-2.
No, I didn't say that. I said play 4-3-3. That's what I was saying.
He didn't. He said
Ped, did you see the new Last of Us 2 trailer? We did.
I did. I got a little bit.
Andy, are you related to John Bradley from Game of Thrones?
No, I know people say a lot. That was a very early thing. What's his name?
He was in Liverpool last
Charlie.
week as
well.
Charlie. No, I'm not, sadly, no.
He looks at books as well.
Thanks, that.
Yeah, he looks through the books. That's his job.
I'm not an accountant, by the way.
Not only is The Last of Us 2 coming out in February, but The Last of Us 1 remixed, every edition is coming out on the PlayStation 4 if you've got the PS Store, which you'll probably...
Zach Kelly's in the remix to Ignition, is he?
I don't see nothing wrong with that. So you can play, if you've never played The Last of Us, you can get it on PlayStation 4 if you've got...
Do we?
And it's amazing.
So you can fly?
Eugene McGeever said...
When you hear that...
I hate it. It's brilliant.
You hate the game?
No, the game's incredible.
You've changed.
The game is incredible. Eugene McGeever says, good win for Everton last night against Sheffield Wednesday. Jamie B says, this is a very controversial one, this. Rafa if Silva leaves.
No, thank you.
You're not getting him out of China.
No.
And I think, would would they?
But you're not getting him out of China.
Would they have wanted Kendall at the end of the 80s? Would we have wanted Dalglish? No, it goes against the principles.
He's a good coach.
He's a good coach, very good.
Max Redfern, who'd you on the draw tonight? Colchester or Crawley at home, thank you. Peter Jackson, just finished directing
Lord of the Rings there.
Yeah. Win a cup and finish 5th, Liverpool finish 2nd. Or win a cup and finish 4th, Liverpool win the league. Win a cup and finish 5th.
I'd still take the 4th and the cup. And
4th and Liverpool winning it.
Who's cares what they do? Let's care about us. Yeah. Champions League, let's do us a massive favour.
Okay. Eugene McGeever also says, do you think Everton will beat Man City on Saturday?
Can't wait till the first person says yeah.
No. Eddie Howe should be number 1. Says Matt Devereux for the Everton job if Silva goes.
No, thank you.
Brother_Abel says 4-2-2-2 is my preferred choice. Keane, Richarlison up front, Bernard, Nwobi, CAM. Yeah, Gomez, Siggy, Bamin, centre mid, usual suspects in defence. Okay, don't know. Ben789, just want to say, boys, really appreciate all the videos. It's boss, thank you, Ben. Joseph C, I would take Mourinho in a flash. He's won titles and trophies and has pedigree to take the club forward. Look at our last 3 to 4 managers, they haven't won zip, with the exception of Martinez winning an FA Cup.
Is there something to be said? Is there something to be said that if you want to be a top club, you need a top manager?
Yes. But then, was Pep Guardiola top manager before he was at Barcelona?
I'm just asking the question.
I know what I'm saying to you. I agree with you.
Wasn't he essentially created, bred to be that?
Well, no, he purposely went to Mexico to play under Manuel Lillo, who's a very interesting man if anyone wants to read about him. But yeah,
can we have him as our manager?
No, he's terrible. He's a bad manager, but a genius.
Okay.
He's a genius tactician, bad manager.
Okay, Glenn Watson says, if we get to a cup final this year, will the 3 of you commit to doing a song and music video similar to All Together Now?
No.
Yes.
No. I'll write
cup final though.
I mean, I'd write it.
Cup final.
I'd play every instrument on it.
Cup final.
And I'll let you sing it.
Cup final.
Just here we go, and change the lyrics.
Manic Con says, think Marco just takes too long to implement his plans in actual games. I almost feel like the team trains at something different to how they get sent out at the weekend.
What altitude?
Michael Winstanley says, Jose is a winner and has something to prove. The last 20 odd years we've done nothing. I don't want Silva out, but Jose is proven that would be on brand.
He is proven, but let's, as I say, look at how and why he's done it and what circumstances.
I don't hate him.
I'm just saying people to think bigger picture.
You hate him like Billy hates us.
It's like Guardiola. If Guardiola came to Everton, it would not work. The team is not built for Guardiola. I'd have him as manager.
That's telling telling me you don't think managers, they're not top managers then, in my opinion.
They are top managers.
No, they're not.
It takes time.
No.
Look at Pep though. It took me years.
He's not. Well, if he couldn't come to Everton and improve Everton, he's not top manager, in my opinion. Because that means you have to have everything in your circumstances to be able to do. How many people
come into a club and play the way they want to play with just a set of players?
That's about coaching. It's about coaching.
I agree.
I just think
Klopp's gone from Dortmund and is now making Liverpool play like Dortmund. When he took over, Ricky Lambert was the centre of fireworks. Yeah, but listen, 2 seasons removed from spawning the way through and having the greatest player across 12 months in Suarez that year. I think good coaches are able to do. Pep will come into Everton and within 18 months would have us boss. I'm not saying we'd win the league. Yeah, but Silva's been here 18 months.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying.
If Pep come in now, by the end of not this season, next season, would Everton be better? Do you think?
Yeah, they'd be in the top 6.
Exactly.
But I don't think they'd be challenging for the title. And Mourinho's only got 3 years, so that's...
Maybe.
I just think you want Mike Walker back.
I do.
Getting Jones says Mourinho doesn't play the kids. Oscar Duke.
No one plays the kids.
Oscar Duke says if Silva doesn't change the system, he'll have the fans turn against him like Allardyce. Mike Flynn says, what's the latest on Gomez and would you play him against City if his injury clears? Yes. I don't know the latest though, but I would play him. Jeff says we really need a win on Saturday, fella. Love your channel and watch it all the time. Mal Young, lots of your videos saying we are missing Gomez, but where was he against Villa? That's one game though, isn't it?
Missing.
But he was missing, you're right. Edward Denham says, do you think we could play Keane as a winger?
I wouldn't do that.
I mean, he did play there for Verona.
He did, but his best place is centre forward. You get the best out of him, play to his strengths.
Yeah, definitely. Michael Winstanley says we're missing Garner and Zuma. Jonathan Elam says tickets will be honoured. It's on the website.
There you go.
Isn't that just for Saturday though, Jonathan?
Maybe.
But it's still best to contact the club.
Yeah, definitely.
Just contact the club.
Keith Powell says if we played Richarlison on the left instead of Bernard and gave Bernard a free roll on the right across the box with Iwobi as a 10, it could mix it up positively.
I think Bernard does not need to cut in on his right foot.
No.
So I think that you could get...
Stop bringing Walcott on the right. Derek Hulton says, I've been going the match since 1966 and I go every game at home expecting to win. We all should. Forget the negative. Become the 12th man. I know I've been there when times have been amazing and some fans have never seen it. When we're in the stands, bounce, so does the team. It's not just the team getting us going, and we also have the responsibility to get them going. Saturday should just go for it by the players from minute 1 and us from the siren. Oh, it's a rally call! There you go.
You need that purpose atmosphere at Goodison to get a good result against City,
Andy, Tom wants to know if there's anywhere he can watch the 90 minutes from last night.
I couldn't find anything I've got.
Nowhere.
And I think it'll be on tomorrow somewhere.
Lindsay said the same thing. Scoured the internet last night for the match, but couldn't find it.
I look on things that are provided for me by people I work for. They weren't even on there. They paid thousands for it.
There's 9 minutes. There's 9 minutes on YouTube, and I would suspect that's all you need.
Probably, unless you want to see the ball pass sideways.
Bernadette says Jose is in the past. He's always inherited top teams. I could win leagues. Was Porto? He won the champion. No, but that but you can't rewrite history just because it suits your agenda. Which is quite fluid. He still won. He still took a Porto team and won the Champions League with it.
He was fantastic at Porto, no doubt about it. That was one of the
Patricia Brimmer says how many Evertonians want City to lose, strengthen Liverpool at the top.
You should only win games.
Well, we want Everton to win. Forget about it again. Just to reiterate, it's September.
It's not a competition either between the two clubs. We should just concentrate on ourselves.
Yeah, but it's September.
Bracket nights are just...
It's September.
Yeah, no, I agree.
In March, the pitch could look differently. The brilliant Liverpool at the moment, he might not be in March. Michael Winstanley expects us to beat City. Good. Mal Young, Tom, I love the fans ringing into Radio Merseyside after a game. After games, a lot of sense. And I often wonder if the first team and the manager ever get to hear this type of radio. No. If they're driving home and they put the radio on, they will, but maybe not.
No, they aren't. Someone wouldn't know what Radio Merseyside was. Never mind.
No,
never mind listening to Clive in Birkdale, who's not been in the game but thinks he knows everything about it.
Topic says, hi guys, all of you should wear suits more often like Pet did after that.
Because I just look
I can't deal with the abuse.
I just look good.
No. Right, I'm gone.
Those suits feels like you've got like a real job, and I don't want to have a real job. So.
Edward Denham says the Jaffa cakes.
Oh, you're in court.
The Jaffa cakes are making me hungry.
Jaffa cakes.
Tom Stone says...
What about them? Pass them over, and
yeah, these are tasty. Thanks to give them a shout out.
That's a Stuart Lowe, one of our patrons, that brought them in. He appeared on...
Oh my God, they're individually wrapped.
They're not individuals two in there.
The doubly wrapped.
To me, that's individual.
That's individual. Two will do them. Don't trust the sides. Magnus Dunn highlights how are you doing? Fine, thank you. Free Roll says, would you keep playing Iwobi in the 10? Why not? Nick F says, Pilsner, baby. There you go. Thomas Stone says...
Pop pickers, baby! I just mean, it's been a bit of a bastard this week in work.
It's been a grueler.
Yeah. A bit of a grueler. Go down the pub and see some of the lads and see what's they're up to. Gonna be in the Benny away and
he's doing Stoptober according to one of his videos.
Yes,
the landlord looks
he's gonna drink copious amounts of coffee.
I'm gonna bankrupt the wheat chief, baby. It's gonna be like Mo, not Mo, remember when Barney Gumble started drinking coffee and he's like that with the hot coffee.
Fume. Thomas Stone says, do you know why Everton can't offer games like last night on the Everton website?
I don't know, but it is right. It is stupid. What I don't understand about that last night was, and this is not Everton, but why aren't the Football League offering all those games to every club and saying to you that, right, we want every game to be viewed. This is our trophy. We want the max amount of people. So the club could pay for it, or you could pay for it yourself, but it'd have to be behind the club's paywall. Or another thing, if I was the club, and if it was possible, and again, I don't know if it's possible, but imagine Everton could have opened a lounge last night, one of those brand new Bosch lounges that they've just got made at Goodison, one of the more relaxed ones, not one of the posher ones, and said, right, it's a £5 or it's a £10 to get in. For that you get a pie and you get a drink and you can sit down with Everton fans and watch the game in a closed environment, so it's not available to anyone else, and everyone gets what they want out of it. Instead, people are scammering around looking for links that are not there, and you'd end up having to listen to radio. It's 2019.
One word: Sky. Because Sky wanted to show the highlights after the goals on.
No, I know, but I'm not blaming Everton. I'm blaming the Football League.
No, it's true. They shouldn't sell the highlights.
I can't understand why they don't want more people to see their tournament. They're the only tournament that the Football League has that has Premier League clubs in it.
Exactly. Yeah.
So why wouldn't you want everybody to see that? I don't understand that. It's mad. Only offering certain games.
Just charge it pay-per-view.
Yeah.
Do you ever used to go, well, I don't know if you did, because in the 90s when you're like, the 90s it was, we used to go to watch the big screen, like when Man United away or Liverpool away or whatever.
I went to watch Everton versus Liverpool in 87 when Gary Stevens scored in the League Cup 1-0.
Big stuff. Used to be
a couple of times when we've been to
Newcastle when we won.
Youngsters are laughing at this, but it was a great
time. Man City, Amakachi and Joe Parkey.
Yeah.
2-0. Big telly.
I went to Derby there when Barbie scored.
I was at Goodison when we beat the last time. No, not the last time. The time before, 95, when we beat them 2-1. I was at Goodison watching it on the big screen. Big telly on the pitch. Bosh.
Massive telly, yeah.
Massive telly.
Liam Shipside says, important we get behind the boys and Silver as they look to improve. Hopefully leave the negativity outside. Ian Clark says, well said, Mal, young enough time in the season for City to win if they can. If not, then the shite will deserve it.
Thor Martinson wants to know, I think this is a very important question, why are we talking about football when the world is almost ending?
We
need to look out the window or something?
Well, I Mrs. loves space, and she was listening to it, watching the programme last night while I was watching on my phone, and I just caught the end of it when it says in 2029 something's going to come really close to Earth. I thought, that's quite worrying. No one's I've never heard of this. Turns out there's an asteroid that'll come the closest to Earth, and he's come.
Question for you.
It'll be within like 40,000
miles.
If
it hits a certain point, called like a gravity spin, it'll be back in 7 years. Called the
Question for you. If they knew that we were going to get splattered by one of these big rocks,
I'd rather not tell
Would you want to know?
No, because the world would end as we know it. People would panic.
People would just go, there's no consequences to anything we do then, and everyone would just go mental.
Have you seen the great film with Steve Carell in there?
Dave Mother.
Oh, okay.
Tomorrow.
Okay.
Sorry.
So let us know in the comments. Teddy Sassers, can you honestly blame us for being negative as a fan base? I try and be positive. I'm not being funny. With a name like Teddy Sass, you're not allowed to be negative. You should be strutting around going like you live on the south coast and you've been on homes under the hammer or something. And you're right.
Pirouetting everywhere.
I try and be positive. It annoys me though when people tell us not to be negative. It's hard not to be. I agree, Teddy. I agree.
Stop being negative.
When people say to you, "Oh, what have you got to be negative about?" Or when like people who don't support the club start telling you not to be negative about, I say no. I say
don't be negative. Be analytical. Think about the bigger picture. You don't know. There's positives and negatives to everything.
But I like my legs.
Okay.
Ian Clark says, Troophead, dogs' back legs are very fragile. But Jay Mack comes back and says, the dog thing is actually a Homer quote.
Okay,
I don't think he meant it.
You can't throw quotes at me when I'm doing this, but the thing I would say about dogs' back legs is, if anyone is tempted to wheel them around by a lawnmower, a dog has a thing called a hip score, right? And it's very important that if you get a puppy, you find out the hip score, right? Because... No, this is true, honestly.
No, I'm listening. I'm not
this is in-depth knowledge, this.
Because what you've got to find... Dogs' hips are... That's why you shouldn't let your dog upstairs. Because the hips are something that, when they get older, they'll have real problems with, right? So when they're puppies, you should find out the hip score, which they'll know. A proper breeder would know from their mum. Honestly, this is a true thing.
So what you're saying is
this way, right? If you get a dog and you don't do this, and they get to like 7 or 8 and they get arthritis, they're going to be in massive pain, and you're going to have to pay out massive amounts of money.
So would you say that the hip score doesn't lie?
The hip score doesn't lie, and I can see you brewing that.
I was waiting.
But the point, that's a true thing. No, so if you get a puppy, always make sure you see the dog with its mum. That's the most important thing as well. Make sure you see with its mum, love and care and environment, right? And get the hip score, because that is hugely important for a dog. And don't let it run up the stairs either. It'll only hurt your dog.
They do like running upstairs.
Well, I know that my dog absolutely loves stairs. It's like the biggest challenge in the world. And also because he's not allowed up there. When he does get up there, it's like he's just been given the greatest treat in the world.
Okay.
There you go.
How much does Andy pay for bicycles?
I've just upgraded it because I need it for work, so it's £100 a month pay now.
Oh my God!
Yeah, it's expensive.
You should be using it more in here when you're here.
Oh, yeah, you come here and
asking me for stuff.
Just walk in and go, I don't know, lads, I just don't know. I've got no way of knowing.
About that.
Cannonball here,
Nick, is Gordon or Sims ready for the first team?
I think Gordon is ready to be on the bench. Right, and I'm not saying he's the finished article by any means. I just think for some games, I think it would give everyone a little bit of a...
It's more for the fans than the actual...
Yeah, of course it is.
The hair's getting cut first.
Joe Mack says the captain is going to Burnley away. Get him on the final word. But how did he get a ticket? Thor...
Pilsner, baby.
Thor says, is Daniel Amokachi an Everton legend? No,
he's an Everton hero, not a legend.
He says not proper, but minor. No, there's no such thing as a minor.
It's a hero.
He's a hero because he's also part of the team that won the FA Cup.
Hero, baby. I will take away
Same as I don't think Ferguson's a legend. I think he's a hero.
Derek Holton says, do you think the lack of Carabao games on TV has something to do with UEFA trying to get rid of the second cup competitions to make room for the new European competition that is being mooted? Well, it's not being mooted, it's happening, Derek. And no, they've got no right to tell people whether games should be on TV or not. The tournament is there, and it's up to the TV companies and up to the clubs. And if the TV companies don't want to show the games, then it's up to the clubs to step in and say, well, we'll take the games.
Isn't the FA still the most powerful FA in the world, in the sense the laws of the game, FA has the most votes, the 4 nations, and FIFA has a minor vote.
Them and the Masons.
Yeah.
Chris
Akabusi?
Yeah. No, just Chris and something said Everton are going nowhere with Silver and Mashiri in charge. But we're going to Bramley Moor with Mashiri, so there you go. Glenn Watson said, Baz, notice you scoff on a Jaffa cake. Begs the question, what's your favourite biscuit?
Hang on. Eating a Jaffa cake begs the question, what's your favourite biscuit?
Because you see me scoff on a Jaffa cake.
So that's a biscuit?
Oreo, no, it's a cake.
That's a biscuit?
It's a cake, it's set.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Glenn hasn't said it's a biscuit.
But he has, because
he hasn't. He said he see me eating.
So why isn't he saying what you
Oreo, Garibaldi and Hobnob, none of them are, Glenn.
It actually says on the box.
He didn't say it's a biscuit.
But
and the fella's asking, where can he send us biscuits?
Hang on, that's like saying, Baz, I seen you riding a bike today, what's your favourite car?
That's alright.
No, they're not the same thing.
I don't know, I'm just
favourite biscuits, you know what? There's...
Are Jaffa cakes biscuits or cakes?
Right.
I want to know
Hang on.
In the comments.
I like ginger nuts with a cup of tea. Chocolate digestives, the one-off. One of them are nice, but if I had to choose a biscuit as like that's your favourite, probably a shortbread. I don't eat them very often.
Shortbread are the king of dunkers. They're the king of dunkers.
No, Christmas, you know, when you get them in like, you get the Arl boxes with the tart. Well, it's just because the Arl shop, but that's the only time I really have them at Christmas. They're nice.
That's what I'd want if there was a nuclear war and I was stuck in a bunker. I just want loads of shortbread because I know I could rely on it. I could depend on it.
True. Nick F says, why not have an app dedicated to the cup? Like IPTV, I mean, they should have something where you can buy it.
IPTV is not strictly legal.
No, but they know it's something legal like that.
You know where you should be able to get games?
Where?
DHgate.
You should be.
They should be able to get
them.
Although you'd order a game and you wouldn't get it till December.
Yeah. Be free though.
Terry Sasser says Andy Anti-Mourinho Pivote. Well, that's what it's called, yeah.
Well, Keith Powell said Andy is talking a lot of sense. Listen to him, please. Over Mourinho.
Michael Hullfactor says...
I'm not right, I'm not wrong.
Michael Hullfactor 50
Hull faker,
says, hello boys, just wanted to say, come on you Blues, I back everyone in the club and every supporter not booing. So you don't support.
Would you have liked Jody Comer to set up the fucking Toffee?
Don't swear on the live feeds, Andy! You're going to get us kicked out of people's homes. There's kids crying now. Kids.
Don't highlight it. You know when you say don't give someone like
kids are crying.
Hold on.
Don't give them an echo.
Such a big thing all the time.
I had to ask permission.
No, it'd have been good to see the set up the Blue, but you didn't need to. Wasn't the time.
Up the effing Toffees.
If you were up for an award, would you get up on stage like wearing something with Everton on, just to like?
No.
Why?
She can't she? She's got to look
remember
good.
Remember the lad from Sunderland? It was in court in Sunderland. The judge said they had anything else to say and said up the effing Toffees. I thought it was fantastic.
Yeah, it was the best thing.
Okay.
Imagine you just won at the very end of it. You go, you walk away and then you walk back and go, oh, by the way. Yeah, imagine that the world would just go.
Exactly, having to get somewhere.
Yeah. Michael Winstanley says, good point getting. Jose would have to adapt to our plan, and would he be up for that? Edward Denham says, do you think we'd have more of a chance getting a result with Allardyce on Saturday? No, because when we played City with Allardyce, he didn't have a clue. But he absolutely rinsed us, and he said, we won the second half 1-0 because Balassi had scored. Nope.
Gary Ward says, I have 2 dogs and they love stairs.
Okay.
That's fair enough. Just stays in moderation, Gav. That's what I'm saying.
Mal Young said we'll be 2 minutes from winning the league and the effing asteroid will strike.
Cool.
Just
No, natural disasters or normal disasters tend to happen after we've won the league.
Liam Shipside says you can be negative privately and after the game, but in the ground booing the players won't help. Got to make others in a hard place.
Paul Concett says the thing about dogs' back legs also depends on the breed. Bigger dogs like Labradors and Alsatians are more prone. I love the people who watch this.
Ian Salisbury said hip dysplasia ped.
Yeah.
And Michael Barrett has said ped Dr. Ped Fitzpatrick, and Thomas Stone says, Ped, what dog have you got?
Black Labrador.
Okay, Stelio Contus, I live in a bungalow, although I don't have a dog, so maybe I should get stairs.
What, get stairs because you don't have a dog?
Because he doesn't have a dog.
I haven't got a dog, get some stairs, lads!
Getting Jones, had Dan Mice mentioned anything about global warming and the inevitable rise in seawater level?
We might ask him when we go and see him.
It would be typical of Everton to build a new stadium. Why does Andy think Jose couldn't adapt to Brands' philosophy?
It's because what he'd do is, right, so say Brands, because Brands has got overall control, and the manager has to agree, but the manager doesn't pick the players we sign. If Mourinho didn't get his way, he'd just go and undermine Brands to the press, and it'd start this whole... He does it all the time. Rafa's the same. They always go and undermine the boards very quickly.
Okay. Yeah. Owen Park says, fun fact, I was in the same year at school as Anthony Gordon. Mal Young says, what player would you like to have on this show in the future if you could have anyone?
From the club?
That's a good one, yeah.
Right now?
They'd have to speak English.
I was going to say, they'd have to speak
English. I'd love Luca Dean, I think.
Luca Dean would be good, yeah.
I think he's got a bit of personality.
Get
Gilfie on and show him the comments.
Gilfie would be... Listen, Gilfie's a good player, we're just not using him right,
You'd like Bernard, so every time you said something, I think he'd just go... He wouldn't understand, he'd just go...
I bet you'd have him blocked by him like other people have. I haven't.
I'd be blocked by him.
Olaf says, okay, there is a form on the Everton website to fill in. Just don't hope everything will be okay. That's about the ticket.
We do as well, mate.
Hope everything's okay. Yeah.
Do we think Everton is short-changed when it comes to exposure on Sky and BT?
Oh, everyone, yeah.
We've been on Sky loads of times this season.
Keith Powell, I import Jaffa cakes from the British Corner shop into Amsterdam every 3 months. along with Heinz chicken soup,
you know?
would you believe? Also pork scratchings, twiglets and ginger nuts. It's like you get the ginger nuts in your tea.
Gary Ward says, we've been over this before, the box says cakes.
It does, but on YouTube, because we done this on Patreon, Michael Barrett says it's a cake, the taxman says so. Nico Wooten says defo a cake. Edward Denham says Jaffa cake is a cake because you don't dunk it.
Well, you do.
Ped literally dunks it in coffee. He dunks it in coffee.
I'll go to the fridge now and I'll get a piece of tiramisu out and I'll dunk it in a coffee.
But you won't though.
There's no coffee, that's why.
And there's no tiramisu in the fridge. Okay. I'm only messing. James Cheatham says it's a biscuit. James, it isn't.
Well, yeah, I'm going to blow your minds because it says on there. It says McVitie's Jaffa Cakes. The original blend of dark crackly chocolate, light sponge and a smashing orangey bit. So it actually says there. It says 20 light sponge cakes with dark crackly chocolate and a smash. So it says there cake. It actually says cake. We found that out yesterday. People have been wondering about this for years. It's on the box.
Okay, Mal Young says breakaway Twix. Michael Barrett says cakes go hard when they go stale. Biscuits go soft.
Okay.
There you go. Ian
Thor
Lyon
says, why are you guys so wise? Is it good breeding, sound education, or solid daily nutrition?
Well, obviously not the nutrition part.
And it's definitely not good breeding.
I just
speak for yourself.
Wise. Well, there's a lot of age here. There's over 100 years. Mostly you, but there's over 100 years.
Oh, the piss just thrown. He's gone into Galaxy's Edge. He's got a bottle of Coke. He's brought it back.
He wouldn't pay $16 for a
TSA approved it, and he's just dropped it.
No, but this is over 100 years, so one of us has got to be somewhat wise, I guess.
Yeah. I am the wisest of the three.
To be fair, if we had three people your age, though, you'd have like literally 100 years.
99,
yeah, so that's basically the same.
Hold on, so that's not right. It's a year under.
And if I had two, you wouldn't.
What about what if you add the months up? Hang on, what if you add the months up? What if you add the months up? So how old are you? 33 and what?
Not just 33, are you? Yeah, so
that'd be over 100, wouldn't it, and?
Randy, made yourself look stupid now. Ian Lyon says the wife insists Jaffa cakes are cakes, so they'd be called Jaffa biscuits.
True.
Spot on, Ian, and your wife is right.
No.
Caro Barbosa says the cha tray. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. Real Talk says big arguments in work today. First 3-season comparison. Who is better for us, Howard or Pickford?
Howard.
Ooh, that's an interesting one. That
doesn't make as many mistakes. Don't be wrong. Pickford's ceiling is much higher.
I think Pickford's a better goalie, but I do think you're right. I do think Pickford makes more mistakes than Howard did in those first few years.
Howard was excellent.
Although every time someone shot from about 30 yards, it was always in.
And he used to make an over the laddered save or a starfish jump.
No, honestly though, when you look back and you think of those, we used to let him get away with murder because he was a good, because we liked him. But some of the shots that went in from long range were horrendous. Well, every time Chelsea breathed from 30 yards, it was in the back of the net. And that one for Dingo from Portsmouth, do me a favour.
Do me a favour.
Do me a favour.
Okay.
I feel sorry for Tim Howard.
Mal Young wants us to know when we're putting the deckies up in the studio, December. Keith Powell, okay lads, answer this. 45,000 people watched the game at Anfield. The person that scored the winning goal never set foot on the pitch. Who was he and what date game was it? It was the Merseyside derby. Keith, you can't throw stuff like that.
It's a riddle me this, riddle me that.
Francis Herbert says who is responsible first team defence coaching?
The
manager, I guess. Eugene McGeever says who will we buy in January if you were the Everton manager?
A centre-back, a centre midfielder with legs, and another winger.
Glenn Watson, Ped, I noticed you eating a biscuit. Begs the question, what's your favourite sports car?
Do you know what? It's a fair point. That's a fair point.
A roadster.
I don't have a favourite sports car because
I'm not. Do you care about cars?
I do, but I'm not really.
Cars,
I'm not really interested in stuff that I can't have. Do you know what I mean? I don't waste any.
Set his bar low.
But I don't waste time thinking about things that I'm never gonna have because otherwise, because then you go full like Yoda, then don't you? Hate leads to jealousy. You know what I mean? It's all.
So you don't want to go to the dark side. What you're saying?
I'm not like I'm happy with what I've got in life, and if I can take the next step upwards, then that's great. But I'm never ever thinking, and maybe that's wrong of me, but I think you've got to be realistic in life, and if you start thinking about things that there's very little chance you're going to get, you're just going to burn your own head out.
Yeah, true.
Okay.
That's like
Paul123 says, I'd love to see Afro Man on Toffee TV. He's a top blue.
He's not a top blue though, is he?
Do you remember that second song? Because everyone remembers obviously I Got High. They call 45, say, baby, that's all we need. And we go to the yard after dark, smoke that tumbleweed. No, sorry, that's one.
Okay. Soraya Salin says, Jaffa cakes are always in the biscuits section of any supermarket.
That's because
maybe that's because the people who work in supermarkets are confused.
Nico Wotton says, can't beat a gold bar.
Nice.
FTBLSZN, should Everton ditch Umbro? The kit is fine, but the money is not good enough.
Well, hang on, whoa. Do you think, right, come on, do you think that other sportswear companies are like, Everton, we want to give you 65 million quid, and they're like, no, we're quite happy with Umbro, thank you very much.
I think though the people want Nike because it's Nike, but
Nike
wouldn't advertise. Adidas then, but Adidas wouldn't focus on Everton. You would have the same issues.
No one would. Do you know when we'd get a Bosch sportswear company? When we're in the Champions League.
Yeah, probably.
When we're in, and it's worth their while.
Haven't we gone out after a certain number? We might
do, but where are we going to go? If we get Adidas, what guarantee we go to Adidas?
Val Sport.
You go to Adidas. You're getting a kit that a Sunday League team wears.
Get them likes up, by the way,
you're not
people.
wearing anything else. You're getting a Sunday League team kit, right? Nike, Liverpool are getting... Doesn't matter about a court case. Liverpool are getting Nike. And Nike will settle it with New Balance.
Yeah.
And that's happening. So,
right. Come on, enough. Last couple of minutes. Royal Blue 1878 thinks Jaffa Cake should be sponsoring the channel.
It should be.
Martin Hennessy says, guys, watch the video of the Carley brothers mic'd up during the first week of Huddersfield. Impressive coach. P. Murph.
The Piv Nails one, yeah.
The Piv Nails one. Haha, Baz is seasoned, not old. Thanks, P. Murph. You tell him.
And he looks even better now.
Do you know why he's seasoned?
I haven't died it properly. Wait till I die it properly.
Because he's salt and peppered his hair, that's why he's seasoned.
I bought a massive box of Oreos. I don't like Oreos.
Oh. What film's that from?
It's 7 Dwarfs.
Thomas Stone says, I think Icaro Barbosa headbutted their keyboard. Francis Herbert says, just the manager. What do the coaching team do then? Don't know, mate.
But the individual functions.
Christian Kiss says, hungry Everton fan club. Hello, Christian. Mal Young says, Smalling would have been boss for us. Francis Herbert said, too many biscuit talk.
Gary Ward says, Jaffa's self-identifies cakes.
There you go. Well, maybe
the cake fluid.
They're non-binary.
They really do.
Teddy Sass says, douse the flames off Paul Baz there. And if Teddy Sass says it, then you know it's sassied up.
Listen, one ear out the other. Bit like I nearly got myself into trouble. I'm not going to say a word. Josh Jackson said, what's your opinion on Remy A. Jesus?
Super young player.
Yeah,
people used to come up to you and go to your mum and say, sorry, Miss Jackson.
Ooh, I am for real.
Never meant to make your son cry. I apologize 1,000 times.
Sorry, Miss Jackson.
Outcast young star.
Would you lads consider Simeone to be out of our reach?
Yeah. Yes, 100%. He's on the most money of any man.
Although we made a video saying he wasn't, loads of Reds would watch it and probably...
Oh, they loved it, yeah. The Reds love it, don't they? Not obsessed, though. Not at all.
Obsessed.
Right, I've just remembered they're playing. I want to be out of here in a minute.
7 o'clock and we've been going.
That is it.
We've been going for an hour and a half.
Oh, mate, this is in future 5 till 6 and then I'm done. Getting home too late. Right, thanks very much for tuning in. Does Bick just keep watching? That's all I'll say on the hair dyeing. See you later.
He's gone blonde.
Before non-blonde, well, 3 non-blondes then.
Yeah. Awake in the morning and what's going on? See you later.
And I say,
hey,
I say,
you're in the cup final. See
what's going on? Right, Andy. See you later.